Welcome to The Pulse. I'm Christina McCauley. Joining us now is Steve Smith from GrowthSource Coaching. Thanks so much for joining us, Steve.
Well, Christina, thanks for having me.
Nice to have you here today. You're a business coach, so tell us, what kind of coaching do you provide to people?
The best way to describe the kind of coaching that I provide is performance-based coaching. And I designed it that way because what I want to do is get my clients to the point where they're actively involved in the change that they're going to have to endure in order to get where they want to go.
Why did you choose this field for your business?
Well, that's a good question because this is a very congested field. There's a lot of coaches out there on the market today. But after my 29-year career in the consumer food manufacturing industry, I had worked with a lady that was a professional consultant helping executives figure out what kind of business they should, take on for the next chapter of their life. And she was the one that came back to me after looking at everything I had done, and we did a few tests and things like that. And she said, "Have you ever heard of a business coach?" And I said, "No, actually not. I had heard of executive coaches, the ones that deal with the athletes and the CEOs and politicians and things like that. But I didn't realize there was an industry for this." And she said, "Look, everything I've looked at and all the people I've talked to, they all tell me this is where you need to be." And so I thought, all right, great, and that's how I got started.
Yeah, you are just a wealth of knowledge. So let me ask you, from your viewpoint, what keeps people from being successful in business?
There's a lot of things that can block people's ability to get to the level of success that they're looking for. But since I only deal with two types of clients, either company executives or people that out and out own the business, what I've found is that in the executive, it's usually an over-reliance on the skills and the experience that got them to that point, but is not totally suitable for them to be successful where they are. And for the business owner, it's really just a lack of understanding how to run a smooth, profitable operation and how to market it. Because if you can't market it, it's going to be tough getting money coming in the front door.
So how can coaching help people overcome some of these issues you've talked about?
The thing about coaching is it's really designed to get people to really understand what is in their way. And it could be a lack of knowledge or experience in something they now need to do at the level of their business to carry it forward. Most of the time, you have to figure out what's getting in their way that's preventing them from taking action. Because you can go through training, you can read books, you can watch videos, you can go to seminars. You can do all of these things to educate yourself or to gather more information. If you're not willing to take action and do something with what you've learned, nothing's going to change.
Well, I think so many business owners are in a silo because they have to call all the shots.
Yes, yes. So you're kind of at the top of the pyramid, and it's a lonely spot up there sometime. But at some point, you have to look and say, okay, all the things I've done have gotten me where I'm at today. So if I want to march down the road and make it bigger, more profitable, whatever their measure of success is, I'm going to have to change how I play the game. And most of them have difficulty changing it on their own and then being willing to stay on the path long enough to see it work.
Well, it's hard. It's hard.
It's hard. Oh, it's absolutely hard. Plus, the fact is, many times you don't even see what you need to do because you get comfortable with your own style and your own delivery and the outcome. And then all of a sudden you realize one day the things you're doing haven't been serving your own interests. Sometimes it takes someone from the outside to come in and be the mirror and help you see not only what you're doing, but the effect that you're causing, the result you're getting. That's the best way to get people to open up and recognize, gee, what I'm doing has served me well up to this point. I can't keep doing that. I have to do something different. And the operative term is do. I have to physically do something different and to get a better result.
You're like the business whisperer here, Steve. It's pretty amazing. So why would a business professional choose coaching over maybe a more traditional business development approach, like training, mentoring, advising?
All of those types are valuable. They all have their place. But what all of them don't really come to the party with is the expectation that the person they're working with is going to do something. So you can be a mentor to somebody and they can come into your office and ask you questions and kind of get your perspective, but when they leave, they're on their own. You go to a 3-day training course, you get a lot of material, you fill out a lot of things, you take all this stuff back to your office, it goes on your shelf. There's nobody there holding you accountable for doing something with what you've learned. Coaching is an ongoing relationship of basically being on your shoulder, saying, okay, this is what you agreed to, this is what you know is going to work, this is what I'm here to support you on, now when are you going to do it? And it's that talking constantly that gets people to move beyond the things that are holding them in place.
So what kind of individual, from your experience, does well with coaching? I'm thinking of some of my friends who run businesses, and I'm thinking, oh, they have to listen to you, but you actually know what you're talking about.
Well, when I first started this is an area that I wasn't very good at. It was being able to talk to people and find out if they were what we call coachable, meaning they have to have a desire to want better, to want to improve either their own professional career or the business that they're in charge of. If they have no interest in improving because they don't think that what they're doing needs to change, then they're not a candidate. See, coaching's not a remedial process. You don't go into it thinking that you're going to get fixed. You go into it being able to open up your eyes and expand your horizons about what options you have, so you can pick and choose new things you haven't done before. But the coachee, the person, you know, the client, that person has to willingly want to go down that road. They may not know how to get there. That's what I'm here for. But they have to have the desire and the willingness to want to change. If I can't get them to do that, then it's going to be a short relationship.
Well, this has been really eye-opening. Best way to get in touch with you, Steve?
If people go to my website, which is www.growthsourcecoaching.com, my office phone number's on there, my email's on there, and there's a plethora of information that people can really find out about me and what I do, which I wholeheartedly support. Learn about the person you're going to contact before you contact them, because then the conversation's much more fulfilling.
Steve Smith with GrowthSource Coaching. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks.
You are watching The Pulse. I'm Christina McCauley. We'll see you next time.